Alright, look, man, let me tell y'all something real quick. Just got done with work. I got a bunch of yard work to do. So I'm gonna do some freaking active recovery. No mail today. Alright, look. A guy in the comment section of an old video just was talking about this, and also the other day I was in the climbing gym and I was hearing about a very talented young climber who tore his rotator cuff and now he needs surgery. He's like 20 years old. You know what I mean? You know how many surgeries I've had? None. You know what I'm saying? Zero. I mean, I guess technically, let me think. I've had my nose worked on. That's not a fucking muscle though. But look, man, staying away from injury, preventing injury is fucking easy. Okay? Now I know some people have just genetically predisposed to issues. Like my back is fucky for whatever reason. I did abuse it a lot in the past. But you know, I fucked it up like what, a week ago? Nearly 2 weeks ago now, I'm fucking swinging kettlebells around. You know, because I know what makes myself feel better. This is something y'all gotta figure out for yourselves. You gotta figure out if you have some kind of nagging pain, if you have some kind of friggin' issue that's chronic, you gotta take the time to figure this shit out. Because at the end of the day, it really just boils down to like rehabilitative exercises or prehabilitative exercises. Like, you know, my last two lives, that was all prehab, basically, right? Shit I do to prevent issues, you know, stretches, isometrics, you know, getting my hips right, my shoulders right, shit like this, trying to centrate my freaking joints, you know, pull myself back together like a freaking Lego person, getting all kinds of cracks and adjustments, you know what I mean? Teaching my body what alignment feels like, you know, what it feels like to work hard within that proper alignment, you know, like kind of yoga type shit, but a little more hardcore. And look at this, man. I've had elbow pains. You know, if you climb hard, you're gonna end up freaking having elbow pains sometimes, or wrist pains, hand pains. This little fucker right here, I keep this up all the damn time. And I also do massive freaking loads of reps of tricep pull downs and that. You know, at least 50 before every time I climb. I'll do 50 at least tricep pull downs in this little bastard, okay? And this costs like nothing. This costs like a few dollars, you know what I mean? A light resistance band can go a long way. You know, I'll do the same thing, and I've shared this video before. I'll freaking take a band and I'll sit my ass down. You know what I mean? I'll lay the band across my freaking feet, strap it to the back of my hand, put my hand on my freaking knee like this, and I also do this. Okay? Opening the fingers as hard as I can and extending the wrist. And then check this out, guys. What am I doing? Let me switch the camera around. As I'm doing it, I'm applying pressure to the forearm flexors onto the thigh. So I'm getting a little bit of a manual release in those tight overward flexor muscles while working the finger and forearm extensors. I'll do like 50 fucking reps of that. Maybe once a week or so, I'll use a thicker band and go harder. You know, like sets of 10. You know what I mean? Get a pump, but also strengthen the opposing muscle group that I use all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's antagonist training. I'll do freaking dips on the rings sometimes, push-ups on the rings, add a weight to them occasionally. You know, you don't have to take it crazy. You don't have to be able to freaking like, let's say you can do a one arm pull up. Technically, if you're to be perfectly balanced within that range of motion, and you can lift your entire body weight with one arm, you should also be able to press your entire body weight with one arm. But, it's a little more fucking difficult. If you even get like halfway there, you're probably going to prevent injury, you know? So I weigh like, 160 right now. So if I could press 80 pounds over my head, which I could probably do, I don't really give a shit to try, but I could probably do that. I doubt I would have shoulder and elbow issues, because my pressing is equivalent enough to my pulling. Okay, even if it's half as strong, it should be enough, you know what I mean? You don't have to be perfectly balanced, but you should be doing something to make sure that imbalance isn't too crazy. There's like kind of there's a range of imbalance that's okay, but eventually you break into pathological. You know what I mean? You just gotta train those freaking opposing muscle groups sometimes. It's as easy as that. If you have rotator cuff problems, personally I don't like all the shit like this. I even had a video recently where I was doing like this kind of stuff. I never really get much out of that. I do like the stretch. Of it. But personally, I don't get a whole lot out of that. I don't think that's that useful for strength training. That's my experience. What I find useful for the rotator cuff is just doing loads of stuff on the gymnastics rings. Because that's going to freaking force you into like joint centration. If your joints are all like wobbling out of whack, you won't be able to stabilize yourself. So if you get to a point where you're able to do, I don't know, like 20 ring push-ups or like 10 ring dips, to me that proves that your rotator cuffs are strong because they're stable enough to move well in that position without freaking wobbling all over the place, Stability is pretty much what the rotator cuffs do. I don't fuck around with all this external rotation bullshit or even internal rotation. For stretching, I might, but for strength training, it's all bullshit. You just have to have stable shoulders. Okay, so the rings are good for that. And look, man, again, if you have pain, nagging pains, like literally this dude, freaking RIP to his shoulder. Whole time I've freaking been around this guy. Every time I see him in the past like 2 years since I met him, he's complained about shoulder pains. And I'm like, I even asked him straight up, like, what are you doing about it? Are you doing any like push-ups or any kind of antagonist training? And he's like, what is antagonist training? I don't really train, I just climb. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You don't train? You're an athlete and all you do is your sport? That's only gonna take you so far, man, until you're going to fucking Snap City. And it fucking happened to this guy, and then this guy in the comment section too. It's kind of the same boat. It's like, oh yeah, I've had freaking pain I've been climbing for 15 years. I can do one arm pull-ups. I got all this pain. You gotta freaking approach this seriously, man. People are just out here playing around with their bodies, You're gonna run out of gas eventually, dude. Like, I'm 34 now. I'm healthy as shit. I have no pain. Back feels fine. I snapped it up a week and a half ago or whatever, but it feels fine now because I know what to do about it. I'm gonna try to prevent it from now on by, keeping up with the freaking lower body training, like the damn kettlebell swings and squats, goblet squats, stuff like that. Stretching. I'm gonna get a little more serious about that because I'm like, okay, obviously if I'm having back snappage, then I'm doing something wrong. You gotta fucking take this shit. You gotta pay attention to what your body's telling you. And you gotta take this shit seriously. Because I want to be better at climbing when I'm 50 than I am now. And the only thing that's gonna stop me is injury. Or some freak fucking accident, I just like die young. You know what I mean? Get in a fucking car wreck or something, yeah. Fucking knock on wood. But look, dude. Take your antagonist training seriously. Take your prehab shit seriously. You don't gotta go overboard and be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do a one-arm handstand push-up, you know? You don't gotta go fucking nuts with it. You can if you want. But look, if you can get at least half as strong in your pressing as there in your pulling, that might be good enough. Maybe take it a little bit further and have like a long-term goal in mind for your like antagonist strength, you know? You gotta do something. You can't be having fucking injuries when you're like 20 years old, you know, and you wonder why. And it's like, oh, it's because I don't even fucking understand. I don't even understand how the freaking body works. Learn about it, dude. You're in this body, your whole life. You're in this body. Learn about it, dude. Figure it out for yourself. Everybody's a little different. I can give you advice. I can give you loads of advice. But at the end of the day, everybody's got a different body type, different issues. So you have to figure it out for yourself. You know. If you can't, seek professional help. Go to a fucking therapist. You know, talk to like a sports trainer, sports physiologist. You know what I mean? Anyway, dude, I'm done with that rant. I gotta do some fucking yard work. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.